spanning tree protocol. So the spanning tree protocol is one that's going to help us get rid of redundancies in the water, or get rid of loops in the network. So one thing to know about the spanning tree protocol is that it works on the second layer. Okay, so it's on the second layer of the OSI model. This is where it's going to run from. So it works in bridges and switches. It's going to work in bridges and switches. Then the specification for this protocol. The specification is IEEE, okay, 802.1D. That's a specification for this protocol, okay. So its purpose, okay, or its function, it's just to prevent loops, okay, just to prevent network loops. So that's all this protocol is going to do for us. It's going to prevent what? It's going to prevent network loops. That's what the spanning tree protocol is going to do for us. So now, how does this spanning tree protocol work? So the spanning tree protocol is going to use the concept of something known as a root bridge. Okay. So what actually is a root bridge? So you know that a spanning tree protocol runs in switches. So a root bridge, what's going to happen is that, let's say you have 3 switches or multiple switches connected, switch 1, switch 2, and also let me just put on top a switch 3. Okay. So we need to realize that all of these switches have traffic that they are forwarding. Okay, all of these switches are forwarding traffic on the network. So now what will happen is that with a root bridge is going to be the central bridge that is going to be coordinating the communication of these three or more connected switches or bridges. So now what will happen is that when you have a system where switches are connected in a way or bridges are connected, we need to find one central switch that is going to monitor and control the forwarding of the forwarding of traffic and packets. Okay, so what is a root bridge? So a root bridge, okay, is simply the central switch or bridge, or let me just say central device, networking device, that controls packet forwarding and traffic when multiple bridges or switches are connected. Multiple bridges or switches are connected. Okay, so that's what a root bridge is. So now, how does a root bridge get assigned in a system like this one? Okay, so how is the root bridge going to be assigned, or the root switch going to be assigned? What will happen is that when these 3 switches are connected like this, two things are going to be put into consideration. Okay, let me say 3 things are going to be put into consideration. One, the switches are going to be allocated what we call switch priority bits. Okay, switch priority bits. Then 2, you're going to be using MAC addresses. Okay, so you're going to be using MAC addresses. So what will happen is that when these switches are connected like this, more of them, so they switch priority and bits and MAC addresses. So what will happen is that the switch with the lowest priority value or lowest MAC address is going to be used as a root bridge. Okay, so switch with lowest priority bit or MAC address will become the root bridge. become the root bridge. That is what's going to happen. So they'll be allocated priority bit. Let's say this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. Okay, so the one with the lowest is a 1. So this one will become the root bridge. But in a case where, let's say, all of them are allocated 1 and maybe also 1, then the qualification method changes. We no longer use priority bits, but we're going to use MAC addresses. So the switch with the lowest MAC address is going to be what? It's going to be used as a what? As a root bridge. Okay, so what are going to be the functions? The functions of a root bridge. Functions of root bridge. So the functions of a root bridge are going to be 1. All communications are going to be monitored or are going to pass through the root bridge. Okay. Communication, monitoring. So it's going to monitor all the traffic that is going to be going through the network will be passing through the root bridge. Okay, that is the first thing that is going to happen. So when it passes through the root bridge, what is going to happen? The root bridge is going to ensure there is one active path. Okay, it will ensure that there's one active path that will be used to transport packets of data, so that we don't have what? We don't have loops. Okay, so one active path. As a result, this is going to reduce redundancies. And eradicate loops. Okay, that is how the situation is going to be. So there's going to be stable communication, only one path every time a packet is being sent to calculate the right path to take. So this is the concept of a loop and how the spanning tree protocol works on the presentation layer of the OSI model. So a loop is just a packet endlessly moving through a network. Then these are some of the causes, the effects of that on the network. And then the spanning tree protocol is going to use to prevent network loops. So in that, we're going to use the concept of what? Of a root bridge, and the function of the root bridge is to communication monitoring or traffic monitoring. And we're going to have one active path for each transfer of a packet. Yeah, so this is what you need to know about loops and the spanning tree protocol.